The Idaten Deities Know Only Peace is a series created by interspecies reviewers creator Amahara, and is about a war between the deities and the demons that took place about 800 years ago. And basically all of the deities ended up going into a seal with the demons and sealing the demons away in another world, leaving only, I think, one deity remaining named Rin, to basically watch over and protect the seal. More deities have formed since then, but the sort of apprentices of Rin, or the apprentices to the apprentice of Rin, ends up encountering a scientist who has found a frozen demon and is trying to use it to basically destroy the human world. And so what this basically becomes is a sort of war between the deities and the demons, and then humans are mostly just caught in the crossfire and are being used as tools from both sides. This show I have very conflicting opinions about this show, because I feel like for every one good thing it does something bad to offset it. One, I will say, is the most obnoxious thing about this entire show, is that one of the deities is like the classic glasses-wearing, like cold smart guy character archetype. Except for the show wants you to think he's really smart, but he's actually really not that smart. He's not, honestly, I'm going to put it out there. He's not even the smartest character in the show. The smartest character in the show is the sort of like masochistic dominatrix demon woman who trains people, which I guess we'll deal with because that's actually a weird thing about this show. But the show itself is also very tonally inconsistent. What I'm talking about is like, it's very colorful, it's very lighthearted, it's got sort of like an action shonen battle sort of vibe to it, and then after spending a whole first episode basically showing that our main characters have nothing to worry about for the course of the rest of the show, which is absolutely true and never becomes not true, there is like no tension at all if you did care about the main characters, is that at the end of the first episode, we cut to the scene of a nun in a church that then gets raped by a bunch of soldiers. And then we find out that there are humanoid demons that exist in the world that are propagating primarily through rape and are creating rape camps. And so there's like this evil empire led by demons that just like go around attacking other smaller countries, taking the women, mind controlling them, and then putting them into breeding camps so that they can fuse with more demons. And this element of the show is like weirdly dark and tonally inconsistent with every other part of the show. And there's also scenes where we see, like, the show is willing to sort of at least get into minor details about the individual demon characters, only to have them killed. In fact, it does this weird thing where it's willing to at least semi-invest in characters, not to any great lengths, but it doesn't go into any great lengths with any character outside of Rin anyway, only to ceremoniously kill them. The show moves at a rapid pace to its own detriment, because whenever an interesting idea comes up, it very quickly dismisses that idea. And it does it fairly consistently throughout the entire runtime. At one point, for example, the deities are working with the demons, and then by the end of the show, they stop working with the demons. It's also worth noting, while I'm putting in disclaimers, that they did take a bunch of boys that were taken from part of the breeding camp, and then, like, as they were children, the other demon women started breeding with these children. Now, I've been around the block enough times, I'm not really bothered by this sort of subject matter, but I feel like that, along with the rape camps, feels like this is a disclaimer required for people to watch, because again, the show is very tonally inconsistent, and if you just watch the first part of the first episode, you would have no idea that this show would be getting into, like, concepts like genocide, and, like, breeding rape camps, and, like, pedophilia, and stuff like that. And it's, like, honestly kind of jarring and tonally inconsistent. But what bothers me, I think, more than the dark subject matter and the tonal whiplash is the fact that whenever a cool idea sort of comes up, like the cooperation between the deities and the demons, the idea immediately gets pivoted away from. Or when the show goes into, like, introduce these demon characters, they end up getting, like, either killed too fast, or the fact that there's no tension. It's not that the show's not enjoyable, though, because as an action show, it does pretty good, and it's enjoyable enough in that regard. And the ideas are cool. This is created by the interspecies reviewer creator, so the world building is one of the better aspects of the show. It's just like for every one good thing, there's one thing I can't get behind. Twitch and Discord in the description. I've been Sacrobolic, your envoy of hope. Bye-bye.